Our understanding of the evolution of birds has come a long way since the first fossil remains in the Solnhofen limestone back in 1861. There have been remarkable deposits found especially in Asia, more specifically in Liaoning province in China. Here we see another snapshot of the evolution of birds some 125 million years ago. As we build up a better and better picture through amazing fossil remains, we can begin to understand this beautiful tapestry which is the evolution of birds on our planet today. When you look at the fossil remains of Archaeopteryx, if it wasn't for the feathers, you could easily be forgiven for identifying this as a predatory dinosaur. You can see the socketed teeth in the skull. You can see the long bony tail, and the overall body plan of the animal is that of a predatory dinosaur. But when you look a little bit closer, you see that the bones are hollow. Again, a predatory dinosaur character, but something that we see in birds also. Then we see the fused clavicle, the wishbone. Very avian character, very bird-like. But here, in the exceptional preservational circumstances that we only find in places like the Solnhofen limestone in Bavaria, we see feathers. This remarkable adaptation allows this animal to break its bonds with the earth and have flight. The exquisite remains of Confuciusornis are preserved in a very different environment to that of what we see with the Solnhofen limestone and Archaeopteryx. For in Liaoning province, where we find Confuciusornis, they're freshwater lake deposits which are fine-grained, interbedded mudstones with ash deposits. These are volcanic ash deposits and probably belay the cause behind so many of these animals littering these lake deposits and finding these exceptionally preserved fossils. Archaeopteryx has many characters that we'd expect to see in a bird, but there's some which we don't really want to see in a modern bird. The last time you saw a chicken, it didn't have teeth. The concept of killer chickens from hell is not one we'd like to really entertain, because birds have evolved beaks. One of the first beaked birds that we find in the fossil record is that of Confuciusornis from Liaoning province in China. These beautiful fossils are preserved in what is a volcanic ash deposit laid down in a lake some 125 million years ago. The fossil remains are beautiful, and they look very much like a modern bird. What is most remarkable about these fossils is the feathers are so exquisitely preserved, we have even been able to map the chemistry of pigments. So we can, for the first time, understand what these creatures might have actually looked like some 125 million years ago. All life on Earth is diagnosed by specific chemistry. Each tissue type in your body has its own elemental building blocks that we can pull apart using some of the most powerful light in the universe, synchrotron light. At such particle accelerator sources, we can generate intense X-rays that excite the very atoms that compose a fossil and tell us exactly what they're composed of. Sometimes these atoms tell a fantastic tale, one of lost pigments and forgotten lives. In the case of Confuciusornis, we're able to look at the pigmentation preserved in discrete chemical building blocks of eumelanin, which is characterized by a central absorber atom of copper. And we were the first group anywhere on the planet to identify this discrete chemistry that's associated with the pigmentation of an animal some 125 million years old.